Yes! Hello and welcome to a Soberdelic James Addiction Recovery live stream. Today we're going to be covering Alcoholics Anonymous Step 2, stating we have come to believe in a power greater than ourselves that, could restore us to sanity. Let's get it popping. My name's James. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I say recovering because I personally don't believe, whatever. What I believe has been so wrong up until I started believing in God. A power greater than my stinking self. Now I let him do everything, and I'm happy as a clam. Clams are probably happy because they don't have a think box like me. I'm an alcoholic with a thinking problem, which is why I got so sick and fed up with my thoughts that I was ready to do number 2. What is step number 2? We came to believe in a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. What is insane? In the membrane, insane is defined as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I changed up here at the age of 43. I did a change up and said, God, I'm now willing that you should have all of me. Because I'm sick and tired of my decisions. I don't care how right I think I am. Man, I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Everybody's got different opinions. How can we all be right? Anywho, step 2. The moment they read step 2, most AAers and newcomers often were confronted with a dilemma, sometimes a serious one. How often? This is from the 12 and 12, by the way. 12 steps and 12 traditions. Now, it's not on me to put AA out there. All I'm doing is sharing how I have come to be stress-free. And step 2 and step 3, which I'll be doing a stream every day at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Step 3. I'm currently on step 4, and I'm not going to do them. I'm not going to cover them until I do them. All right. Let's keep going. Step 3, what is step 2? How often have we heard people cry out, newcomers, look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute helplessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsession. Some of us won't believe in God. Others can't. And still others who do believe that God exists have no faith whatsoever that he'll perform this miracle. Yes, you've got us over the barrel all right, but where do we go from here? That's apparently what people say. Yeah, I said something similar. I said, yo, I got bills to pay. Is declaring out loud gonna pay my bills? Well, my bills are something that my will wants to pay. My will got me in debt. My decisions racked up all this junk around me. Check out my Facebook Marketplace profile if you would like some junk. Because I'm decluttering, baby. Step 3, well, you got to come to believe. Step 2 is, it says nothing more than be willing to come to believe in a power greater than yourself. Do you think you're the highest power? Do you think you're the most powerful being in the universe? Do you think you're more powerful than AA? Do you think you're more powerful than God, if you choose to call your higher power God? Which I do now. You know why? Because AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, when I needed a higher power, that was the power greater than myself that I believed will restore me to sanity. Because, I mean, you see people rejecting AA all the time. Active alcoholics, me, my addiction, my alcoholism would talk me out of AA. It'll diss AA. It'll say whatever it needs to say to get you away from AA because it's scared. Our alcoholism, our disease is scared. Our ego is scared of AA. Hey, little Nikki. Hey, good. Good to see you. Naylin, you too? Hello, period. Hello, period. Naylin, you're too excited. Settle down. Hello, period. That's like if it was my birthday, you'd be like, it's your birthday, period. Nail in the coffin. Yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. All right, so peep it. I'm going to read some Mo. I got opinions. Yo, the big book and the 12 steps of AA, the spiritual program of AA, NA, all the 12-step programs. It's unbelievable how correct and right the entire book is and the 12 steps and everything. It's the truth. And it's opposite of ego. It's crazy powerful. Well, let's read on. Step 2. Step 2, in case you're just joining us, is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Read it word for word. Don't read the spaces in between. So basically, don't project. Just read the words. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. If you believe in prescription medication to help mental disorders such as anxiety and depression, you believe in a power greater than yourself. If you believe the doctor, when he diagnoses you with schizophrenia or bipolar, ADHD, you're believing in a power greater than yourself. You don't have the power of that doctor, so that's a power greater than you. If you believe in self-help books, that's a power greater than you that you're believing in. All you have to do is come to believe that a power greater than you could restore you to sanity. And when I went back to AA, that was what I needed, was sanity. I had already stopped drinking for a month. By the way, today's my 90 days sober. Not bragging, just saying, for all of you guys that are desperate, don't think you can quit, or don't think you can do 90. Just think of how I looked 3 months ago and 4 months ago and 5 months ago, and those streams that aren't even listed anymore because Skimble depends. All right, this is from the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Well, no, this is from the big book. This is from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Let's look first at the case of the one who says he won't believe, the belligerent one. He is in a state of mind which can be described only as savage. His whole philosophy of life in which he is so gloried is threatened. It's bad enough, he thinks, to admit alcohol has him down for the keeps. But now, still smarting from that admission, he is faced with something really impossible. How he does cherish the thought that man, risen so majestically from a single cell in the primordial ooze, this is the big book of AA, by the way, good read, is the spearhead of evolution and therefore the only God that his universe knows. Must he renounce all of this to save himself? You gotta renounce your beliefs. You gotta renounce all the shit that you gotta swallow a boot. Is that what they say? You gotta eat your boot. You got some boot to be eaten. Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King, is in the place. Let me get that. This is what I said to my ego. This is what I said to my ego and my thoughts. And I gave my decision making over to the care of God as I understood him. Now, I don't understand God. If I did, he wouldn't be a power greater than me. You know what I mean? You know, you feel me? Richard Bachman, congrats on the 90, says Richard to me, James. I remember those streams, LOL. I had a beer in my hand, though. 2, though. Congratulations. Yesterday was 16 months. Wait. That's not possible, Richard Bachman, if you had a beer in your hand during my streams. Uh-oh. Mathematic done caught him. Oh, G's in the house. Hi, man. Are you still smoking weed and doing psychedelics? Not right now, but it's not off the table because I have never doubted that cannabis and psychedelic substances, natural ones mostly, mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms, show you God and depletion of your ego. If you're ready for it, and I can't wait to do it again. I mean, I obviously can wait. I can go get them right now. I don't care. I don't care to go get them because these steps are what I'm doing right now. Snorting these steps like lines, like rails. No, I'm thoroughly dedicated and committed to my higher power, which is the program of AA, which shows me God on a daily basis. I got to tell you all kinds of stuff. And tomorrow, well, I got to tell you all kinds of stories. Here's a... Once I gave my decision-making over to the care of my God as I understood him, a God of my misunderstanding is what I like to call it, jovially. Once that instant that I committed to the 3rd step prayer, God, I am now, or the 7th step prayer, or whatever prayer it is, God, I am now willing to let you have all of me, to do with me, and to build with me as thou wilt. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to thy power, thy love, and thy strength. Or something, you know, I may be paraphrasing, but God knows. Yeah, the steps. So, get this. My idea of this channel for these past 5 years was F the traditions of AA, one of which says no press, radio, and films. And my excuse always was, well, that was 100 years ago. They didn't even have YouTube, so... But press, radio, and films could be thought of as YouTube. Or I would make, you know, there's reasons that my human mind might tell myself to get what I want. That's all we do when we're caught in our ego and our will. I'm helping people, true. You know, and I'll tell myself this. So when I started listening to God and ignoring my own earthly desires and my own flimsy explanations for why I do what I do, which my ego's gotten me some things it hasn't, some things it has destroyed. I now walk freely because since I dropped my ego, I walk freely. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen, y'all. Girl, you don't want to go out there. It's raining. All right. I got the Holy Spirit. Miss Ford's in the house. Good to see you, Miss Ford. Gail McGillum, congratulations. Yesterday's. Oh, never mind, Richard Bachman. Oh, good for you, Gail. Yeah. I got all twisted up. But we're not on the 3rd step yet. I can't wait to tell you about the 3rd step. It has literally saved my life. You have no idea how scared and how isolated. Yeah, you do have an idea because we're alike over here. Come here, girl. They want to see you. You want to see the girl? Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Purple Turtle, good to see you. Everyone talks about how shrooms enlighten us, but I've not heard anyone express what that looks like. What did you learn doing shrooms? Shrooms, I was just thinking about this literally an hour ago. I was thinking how shrooms are similar to the desolation of ego, the demolition of ego. Shrooms demolish your ego, and you get the feeling that, you know, on these big doses and even the micro doses, you start to get the feeling that, like, you know, you're just one with all, and all is one. And I know that sounds like flighty and you know, herky-gurky, but it's just a feeling. I had a family fight one year it was literally my birthday. I told you this story. It's one of my streams. Just look up Soberdelic James eating an ounce of mushrooms, magic mushrooms. I ate the ounce of cubensis in a hotel room after I got in a fight with my nephew and my sister and my niece because my ego got in the way, or I was fighting it. Most people... So the shrooms and God. I'm not authorized by God to say that they're one and the same, but and this is how I've been ignoring my own opinions, because one of the reasons I hesitated to stream recently is because I didn't know how many toxic opinions I was putting out there into the world, and people were taking them as gospel, and like, this is just me talking, and I can be an idiot, you know, out there. So now, like I said, I came to a crossroads when I was doing step 3 with the channel. Do I still take the message of recovery and Alcoholics Anonymous to the internet and the Soberdelic James channel? Because I've been egotistical some of the times on this channel, depending on which phase of life I've been going through. In this past 5 years of this channel, you can see me going through all kinds of phases. Some of them are egotistical. This most recent one has me ripping the sleeves off of all my t-shirts. This ain't gonna be a phase. Let me tell you something. I've relaxed so much since step 3, giving my will over to the care of God, that it's not a phase. It straight saved my life. I had such a spiritual awakening this past weekend that I threw out my back and my neck. My spiritual awakening threw my neck and my back out. My neck and my back. So enough about me. Let's read on about step 2. Step 2 is just coming to believe that a power greater than you can restore you to sanity. I said, okay. I got a sponsor before I already knew I did step 1. Step 1 carried me almost 8 years without alcohol. But step 1, we're powerless over alcohol and our lives have become unmanageable. I know that. And I knew it when I picked up again. I picked up again because I was so desperately unhappy that I just picked up. Die or no die. Jails, institutions, or death or no death. I was going to drink because I was so sad and mad and angry, restless, irritable, and discontent. So I went back to AA. A month after I stopped drinking, a month of just pacing around, wondering what the f is wrong with me. I went back to Alcoholics Anonymous, where they will always welcome you. And my main answer for those who call it a cult is, what is the motive of a cult? What is the motive of AA as a cult? They don't accept money. Nobody's getting rich. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying? Cult leaders want power, and there are no... Anyway, whatever. Oh. At this juncture, his AA sponsor usually laughs. When somebody says, now you gotta have me believing in God? This, the newcomer thinks, is about the last straw. This is the beginning of the end, and so it is. The beginning of the end of his old life, and the beginning of his emergence into a new one. His sponsor probably says, take it easy. The hoop you have to jump through is a lot wider than you think. At least I've found it so. So did a friend of mine who was at one time vice president of the American Atheist Society, but he got through with room to spare. Most of my life, I've been content with not knowing things like God. Does he exist? That's where the word agnostic comes in. Atheists say that God doesn't exist. To me, that's just about as extreme as saying he does exist. So, the God subject is tough. If any of you, many of you know me from watching this channel, and you know my thoughts on God in the past, and just, it's basically, I don't know if he exists. That was my thoughts on God. When I was desperate this time, the gift of desperation, G-O-D, when I was desperate, every time in my life I was desperate, I got something out of it. You know, it was painful. And this time wasn't any less painful. And every time I got the gift of desperation, G-O-D, God, I was willing to do more. What I guess wasn't willing to do. I've always been willing to pray because people in AA pray, and I thought if I just emulated them, I would get what they got. That is true to an extent, but it says right in the book, half measures avail us nothing. So I stood at the turning point and I said, AA says get a sponsor, I'm gonna get that sponsor. I asked my sponsor, yo, I don't know about God. I'm a recovering Catholic and I'm not sure about God. And he explained to me, my sponsor is a chemist by trade. So he explained to me some chemical reaction thing that he doesn't understand how it works, but it works. Everybody can come to believe in a power greater than themselves that can restore them to sanity of their own understanding. He told me I don't have to have his God, and I'm probably not going to. And it became clear to me that God, well, in my opinion, God is unique to every person. Why wouldn't God be? The other thing I've always recognized is the power of prayer, whether I believed in God at that time or not. The power of prayer works. Saying words, believing in things. That's why the second step starts with, we came to believe. We came to believe. It's the believing. I can go, and I probably will, over the course of this channel. I'm going to be streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. But the power of prayer and the power of faith. It's something else. Hey, little Nikki. Jeff, I respect you more than Joe Rogan, who seems to encourage the party lifestyle and question his sober guests as to why they are sober. I'm not sure. Thanks, little Nikki. Mike Tucker, people use the evil in the world to say there is no God. Doing so, they prove they have limited biblical knowledge. The world is under the influence of his nemesis currently. Hey, Hillary May. Mike Tucker is spitting that godly nature, godly word. Hold on, I'll be back. Oh my God, you guys are so muddy now. My dogs is so muddy. Let me give you an example of how to give your will to God. You say to yourself, I don't want my dogs running around in the mud and the rain because I know this is how you talk. In the mud and rain because it'll come in and mess up my stuff. So you let your dogs out because you give your will to God now, and you just say, whatever happens, happens. I'm a free man. I'm no longer weighted down by what I worry about. Next thing you know, your dog comes back. He's got a backpack on and it's filled with millions of dollars. And that's an example of how giving. Here's another example, and this one's true. I have finances left over. They're running low. I don't have to work right now. That being said, I was worried before I accepted God and AA into my decision-making life. I was just pacing back and forth. How am I going to pay mortgage when this money runs out? How am I going to do this? What am I going to do when I grow up? Who am I? Why don't I have a this, that, or the other thing at 43? This is my ego running the show. Easing God out. EGO, easing God out is the ego. So then I accepted God, and he took me to AA, and AA took me to God. And AA and God said, help others. So I started helping others. Money started flying at me. I wanted the spiritual enlightenment. I was so greedy for that feeling of doing something good for another. I turned down the money, and more just kept flying at me. More money. And I knew. I said, don't worry about it. I have a feeling it's just gonna come right back to me anyway. When I decide to take it. And I am also aware that if it doesn't, that's God's plan. Has it? Oh, let me ask you this. Has something happened to you in your life that it's so bad that you think everything's over? You're going to kill yourself. And you're just like, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's total opposite. Because I know that's how you talk too. And then, you know, because that thing happened, you lost your job, so you're at home. You're at home. Turns out the postal lady is the lady of the love of your life, and you guys get married and give birth to the next Jesus Christ. No, gives birth to the next world peace leader. Never would have happened. And you were happy. You know, for 6 months you thought your life was over because you didn't get your way. You didn't get that job that you wanted. Has this ever happened to you? Yes, Miss Ford says. Me too. And you throw a little tantrum. I can't believe it. And then next thing you know, because God isn't on a timeline. 6 months to God is nothing. 6 months of pain and agony to you and me is like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But God's got, you know, different ways. If you understood him, he wouldn't be a power greater than us. Do you know what I'm saying? Lost everything in a hurricane, Purple Terp says. House and all, I'm okay with it. Never cared for material things. Yeah, fuck it. Miss Ford, I always throw myself a pity party. Yeah. Sitting on a pity pot, throwing pity parties. Yeah, Turtle, you know, who knows? Yo, I could give you example after example, but you know, that's just me. Let's just read some of the literature. The literature. Well, says the newcomer, when he's faced with step 2, coming to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. I know you're telling me the truth. It's no doubt a fact that AA is full of people who once believed as I do. But just how, in these circumstances, does a fellow take it easy? That's what I want to know. That, agrees the sponsor, is a very good question indeed. I think I can tell you exactly how to relax. You won't have to work at it very hard either. Listen, if you will, to these 3 statements. First, Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand that you believe anything. All of its 12 steps are but suggestions. Second, to get sober and to stay sober, you don't have to swallow all of step 2 right now. My sponsor told me that, and I'm just now realizing where he got it. Looking back, I find that I took it piecemeal myself. Third, all you really need is a truly open mind. Just resign from the debating society and quit bothering yourself with such deep questions as whether it was the hen or the egg that came first. Again, I say all you need is an open mind. HOW, how it works. HOW, honesty, open-mindedness, willingness. Let me let my dog in. It just occurred to me that HOW, how, is also 1, 2, 3, the first 3 steps. Honesty. I'm honestly powerless over alcohol and my life has become unmanageable. Open-mindedness. I'm open to a power greater than myself that will restore me to sanity. Where that, yo? Willingness. HOW. Willingness. I'm willing to give my will to the care of God as I understand Him. I did it. I was instantly relieved of the bondage of self. Well, I don't know about totally yet. I'm like fighting my ego every step, but I got God on my side. The almighty creator of the earths and heavens and the universe is on my side. I'm not scared of my ego anymore. It's shrinking. It's got shrinkage. I gave it such a cold shoulder, it's got shrinkage. I've given my ego the cold shoulder, and it's got shrinkage. What y'all talking about? Hillary Mae, it's good to see you. Purple Turtle, it was actually a blessing, little Nikki. It straightened out my path, the hurricane did to Purple Turt. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's right, little Nikki. Chicken or the egg? Which one came first? Hey, that's from the Big Book of AA, one of the best books I've ever read. That's right, my ego wants you to know that I read books. Yo, how silly is the ego? We be name dropping and shit. Yeah, I was in New York City the other day, and I saw Janine Garofalo. How the fuck? Who cares? I saw God, motherfucker. Nayland says I'm extremely, dangerously even, good at compartmentalization. That's my unhealthy cope. It can cause problems which rival substances at times. Substances are what we use because of the problems. Alcohol seems to be a very good medicine to people with our very particular set of skills. No, very particular set of like disorders. Motherfucking depression, anxiety, worry wart, thinking too much, you know what I'm saying? Egomaniac. That doesn't mean I'm rolling around like I got a Ferrari. It means I want a Ferrari so I can say I got a Ferrari. It means, you know what I'm... There's a difference between self-absorption and self-love and self-respect. And it says right in the book, more will gradually be revealed. Sober for a while, Mike Tucker. Still struggling with anxiety and depression. You got God in your life, man. Look up the 3rd step prayer. We're going to be doing the 3rd step tomorrow, but let's finish reading about the step 2. Nah, that's just reading. Oh no! Am I skipping left and right on this stream? Damn! I got 8 likes on this stream already. Oh wow! I feel so important. So yeah, I had a dilemma. Should I keep up with the YouTube channel? Is that just my ego and stuff? And sure, my sponsor said, you can't just kill your ego dead. I don't know if he meant impossible, but no, he meant you really shouldn't. Ego serves its purpose, and that purpose is survival. Now, humans have gotten it twisted over the eons upon eons that we've been fucking around on planet Earth. Human beings are so smart and complicated that our egos are surviving on how many likes do we get on Facebook and shit like that, because Facebook wants you to buy shit. You know how they get you to buy that cologne? They tell you you smell bad, and they tell your ego to keep telling you that until you buy the cologne. Your ego will tell you, yo, why aren't I an Abercrombie and Fitch model? Maybe I should buy the entire catalog. And my channel helps people, and that's what my higher power has. Me and my higher power are good with the channel. As long as I don't get out of control, my ego, I hope and pray. My hopes and prayers. Damn, we've been almost 40 minutes already. I'll be streaming every day. I'm trying to keep it under an hour, under 60 minutes every day, but so let's beginning to wrap it up. But Mike Tucker, that depression and anxiety, bro, this is what pisses me off. It doesn't piss me off. It's just the way it is. There was somebody that at a meeting 20 years ago in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a wise AA'er said, you can't do AA without God. I don't care who and what generation you're from, you just can't do it. 20 years ago, I spent 20 years just like, somehow not getting what he meant. But that wasn't my fault. It's nobody's fault. It comes when it comes. That's what she said. It comes to you when it comes to you. More will be revealed. So, man, I never believed in the whole white light flash. One day you'll have a spiritual awakening and you will get it. I never really believed in that. It sounded too hokey pokey. It sounded too fictional. Well, it happened to me so hard that it threw my neck and my back out. I'm still working on my neck disc and my back disc from this weekend because I caught the Holy Spirit so hard. I was volunteering to help people move and shit, and I threw my neck out while I was turning down cash and shit. And I ain't bragging. I'm just telling you a story that you can understand and wrap your head around. And your ego, your ego will it'll bring you up just to bring you down. Your ego's crazy evil. There's the Lord's Prayer has a line that says, "Deliver us from evil." And I heard someone replacing that word with ego. Deliver us from ego. Forgive us our trespasses. On that flash, Naylin, I'll tell you. I'll tell you about my spiritual awakening. We just hit 40 minutes. I'll try to get this wrapped up in 10. Not the story, but it all. Let me get it straight first, because it happened like this. It wasn't a flash of light, but when I realized that what I've been okay, so this is when it started. Well, a month ago, or ever since I started going to AA, you could say. But in my consciousness, it started about a month ago. Everything has been, and I'm on my 90th day sober from alcohol, and I'm on my 60th day in my 90 meetings in 90 days. My higher power says go to 90 meetings in 90 days. My ego says, you don't want to do that. That's for, nerds and shit. But my ego, I shut him down. Shut him down. My ego would be so proud of me how I kicked my ego's ass. My ego would be like, dude, you're a badass, bro. Yeah. But I didn't ask him. It was me and God shutting ego down. So after I did the second step and the third step, this is what happened. My life started becoming so happy, joyous, and free. I've always been super nervous around people. God will reveal why, and I'll be able to articulate it in another stream. But you could call it agoraphobia. You could call it social anxiety disorder, SAD. I've been taking everything from Prozac, Cymbalta, Strattera for ADHD. I've been blaming on ADHD, how I can't stop drinking, I can't stop. And isolation and alcoholism go hand in hand. So my ego isolates me. It says, you're not cool enough for them, you might as well stay home. You're an introvert, bro. You're too cool for them. My ego's confused, yo. So once I gave my ego up in step 3, which we're talking about tomorrow, step 2 today, we're just coming to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. That was AA for me, no doubt. Now it's God, the Almighty Creator. And step 3, when I finally did that with the help of my sponsor and my higher power, but through him, my higher power worked when I didn't even know about my higher power, and said, give your will to me, and here's how you do it. My sponsor told me his story. I related to it so hard that I was like, all right, I'll give my will to God. As soon as I stopped making decisions and arguing with myself, is this right? Is this cool? Is this boo-ba-doo-ba-doo? I felt relaxed. I felt the relaxation of alcohol gives. And I felt free. I used to love drinking alcohol because I could, relax and be myself. I didn't care. Your inhibitions are lessened. You don't have room, I don't know, but your ego, who is still in there all drunk and shit. But with this God thing, and you have to put down the substance first. I had to put down the drunk, and I was 30 days without booze before I even dragged my ass back into AA and picked up a white chip. No, that's not true. I picked up a white chip right away, but I wasn't going to 90 and 90. I still hadn't had the revelation. But this is how that flash happened. Before I go, I'll explain this. The peace that surpasses all understanding. And you're super grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm brimming with gratitude. I'm so grateful. I'm giving it to other people. So step 2 came. Yeah, I told my sponsor, I believe in a higher, I definitely, I got no problem with that. And I meant it. I know AA is a power greater than me, and I'll just take that as my higher power for now. Then he said, step 3, which we'll be talking about tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Step 3, hand your will over to the care of God as you understand him. And I'm like, all right, God. And he explained how we can come back to this step and work it again as much as you need to, but more will be revealed and your faith will just expound exponentially. This is my words to my next sponsee and you guys. Your faith will expound exponentially through the promises that are coming through. These are 9th step promises. One of which is your fear of people and economic insecurity will leave you. Now, AA's always told me that, and I've always said, deep down, if I didn't express it out loud, I said, yeah, fucking right. For one reason or another, and I'll just blame it on my parents, which I used to do, I'm terrified of confrontation, and I'm terrified of dudes. You know what God showed me? He showed me my big ass ego is scared of other big out of control egos, because the egos are out of control. They fight and they hurt others to maintain their own identity. So does mine. And for years I've been asking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be around certain people? It's because their egos are out of control. God showed me this, kept me up till 5 a.m, and I swear I probably sat straight up like a vampire and said, that's it. My big ass out of control ego is scared of these out of control egos. Once it showed me that, my ego deflated into a weakling. And then all these other egos out there, these people that I sweat and couldn't act I couldn't act right around. This was the in crowd of AA. And I thought it was threatening my sobriety because I couldn't go to AA anymore. But it was just this. My ego was seeking acceptance with the wrong kind of AA meetings. My ego wanted into the cool crowd ever since high school. That's my ego. God said, stay the fuck away from that meeting. That's a popularity contest. I remember my first popularity contest, which is a joke that my ego would say. But God said, yo, your ego wanted to be a member of that meeting. And then he showed me where to go instead. And I said, I'm gonna follow you from now on, God. Word is bond. And it's been happy since I worked these first 3 steps. I'm on 4. 4 is, and we'll talk about that probably Saturday. And then we'll go back to 1 because I've only worked through 4 this, I've worked them before, but to the best of my ability, and that's all we can do. I ask God to do with me and build with me as thou wilt, so I can be an example of his love, power, and strength, and majesty. And I'm not gonna show off. It just happens. It's pretty awesome. The person I've become instantly by dividing myself from my ego and going with God is a person that my ego would be jealous of me being. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's read what you guys have to say before we go. The world is not headed towards a good place, and it will be darker. It will get darker before it gets better. Well, see, that's just, you don't know shit. So how do you know that? I don't know shit. You don't know shit. We don't know shit. Nayland, Mike Tucker agreed, but here and now, there's a little light to still be found. If we mourn tomorrow, we'll lose today. Here's how I know that nobody knows what they're talking about when they talk about the future. It's impossible to know what you're talking about the future. You can theorize and you can be super smart, but I've been super smart before and wound up at the fucking liquor mart doing parkour from shelf to shelf. All right. Step 2, came to believe in a power greater than ourselves. All the steps have we, ourselves, us. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing. We is powerful than I, is more powerful than I. It all makes sense, yo. Mike Tucker believes this was all prophesized. Mike Tyson. Hey, some good shit's happening, and it's about goddamn time. But, you know, well, shit. Hey, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the day after that, Soberdelic James. I'm going to start making videos again. I'm going to start doing this damn thing. The best thing you can be in AA is a person of service and an active individual in the program and serving others. And that's the highest regard, and that's what I'm aiming for. I'm just doing everything AA says. They don't even boss you around. They just say, you can go drink if you want, or you can do this service work. I'm going to tell you that the service work works, and you tell me if that drink works. And then I came back 5.5 months later, and I was like, nah, the drink doesn't work. Or fucking 4,000 drinks doesn't work over the course of 6 months. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Neil Lynn, Purple Turtle, Mike Tucker, Hillary May, Little Nikki. Thank you all for chilling and subscribing and being here and bouncing things off me and letting me bounce them off of you. Consider believing that there's a power greater than you that will restore you to sanity. And then tomorrow we'll talk about giving yourself to that power and saying, I'm not driving, I'm not the director of this play called Planet Earth, I'm not even the star actor, I might just be the sound guy, you know. And I love it. Stressful thinking you're the star guy. I love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, and until then, keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the damn thing. Peace.